everyone, welcome to another chat with Average Black Girl. So today I want to talk all about how to deal with a difficult client. Now, it's something that you can't avoid. Everyone's going to have one, but it doesn't have to be a super negative experience. So I'm going to give you some tips to make sure that even if you have a difficult client, you're still able to come to an agreement and move on. The first thing that I want you guys to do is I want you guys to really be mindful of what kind of payment you take. Now, if you have a difficult client, I would not suggest to use PayPal. PayPal sides with the buyer 99% of the time. And that's great if you're buying. But if you're selling, it's not that great, because once somebody files a dispute, the money is automatically taken out of your account, and then you have to go through a whole case pending thing. And so meanwhile, while you're getting that money still into your PayPal account, it's just going straight to that negative balance until that balance is zero. So it really puts you in a bad place, especially if it's at a wrong time of the month. So definitely accept checks or accept bank deposits or accept Cash App. You definitely want to find something that doesn't allow for that immediate transfer over. I believe Stripe is what a lot of people are using as well, that you can take online, but you don't have that. The next thing that you want to do is you want to have a pre-start meeting. So that's where you're going to go over everything. You're going to answer any questions. You're going to go over your timeline. You're going to go over everything that you're going to be doing during your project. That is where people can ask questions. You can tweak stuff, and you're also able to overly communicate what is about to happen. Now, keeping on that same communication, the third tip is to over communicate. If you're running behind, over communicate. If the person's kind of questioning your project, maybe your project is more art or something that you can show once you have a final product, show them where you're going so that you can make sure that you're on the right track. What we're trying to do is we're trying to avoid time wasting on both the buyer and the seller, and to ensure that the buyer is getting exactly what they think in their head that they're getting. And the next thing you want to do is, if someone is showing that they are upset or not happy, take the time to actually have a conversation. That back and forth through email, I hate when that happens. If I'm frustrated, I really need to talk to someone, because I'm having buyer's remorse, and I want to make sure that I'm not going to have buyer's remorse, and I'm going to actually enjoy whatever I have bought, and that I'm going to enjoy the process. So I personally really appreciate when people pick up the phone and talk to me. That just makes me feel special, and I like to feel like I'm being heard. If I'm paying you $5, if I'm paying you $5,000, I want to feel like I'm being heard. The next thing you want to do is you really want to stand clear of excuses. I think that a lot of times, a lot of people, especially women, if we're having a bad day, or if someone died, or something happened to our car, then we kind of take more time than necessary to deal with whatever instance is happening, and sometimes that can have an immediate reflect on your business. And so the last thing I want to hear is every excuse in the world on why you could not give me what I paid for when you told me that you could give it to me by. So skip the excuses, skip the sob story, just be upfront. This is happening. I am running behind. I will give it to you by X. And please make sure that you put some thought process in when you can give it by. There was this one person that I used to work with, and it was very digital and techie, and he would always say, I'll get it to you tomorrow. I'll get it to you tomorrow. And tomorrow never came. And it was like a week of us, I'll give it to you tomorrow. Well, then I finally snapped. I was like, no more tomorrows. I'm done. That completely put me in a different mood. I never wanted to work with him again, and I felt like I was being played, like he was sending me off. And if he would have just said, you know what, I'll give it to you in a week, I would have been fine, because that was the deadline that he made, that he gave me. That was the expectation that he was going to complete, and I would have been calling every day. So if you're one of those people that are not good with time, I would say what you think you're gonna do, give yourself an extra 3 or 4 days. Rule of thumb. So if you can do it in 7 days, say that you'll get it done in 10. Because if you get it done in 7 days, even though you told me 10, I'm excited, I'm happy. If you are one of those people that are really slow, or life does kind of affect you more than other people, that's okay. Know yourself, take a deposit. Because if I only paid half, I'm a little bit more lenient. But if I have to pay all this money up front and you're still really slow and we're going to have some issues, I feel taken advantage of. But if I haven't paid you completely, then I'm okay and can give you more leniency. So mostly what I'm getting to is about the experience. And the experience isn't just about answering emails or answering every phone call. The experience is more about having a time put in place to take me through the onboarding process, making sure that I'm getting what I'm being promised in its time frame, and then having a great offboarding process. So if we've learned anything, it's not that the customer's always right, because they're not. What we're learning is how to make sure that there is a process and procedure for your business. And one last thing, speaking on processes and procedures, is that if you don't have a process for how your business works, if you are in the hospital or, just in grief and can't function, that's something that you definitely want to come into. Your emails should not cease. If you're doing anything online, such as online courses or pre-recorded videos or any type of thing, that your function should not stop. And if your function does stop and it's solely leaning on you, you really want to start figuring out what process and procedures you can put on. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go and find somebody to help, but say that you are sick. Do you have a friend that could read your emails and know how to respond to people? And do you have things put in place that anybody could read and then they can go and implement? That's what you'll need, right? When an emergency happens, sometimes you just need your mom, dad, boyfriend, husband, child to just step in for maybe a week to keep things going. And if you have documentation and a process, then you can transfer over what needs to happen without your business ceasing. And when you're there, you are in another level. Now you can go off to Hawaii for 2 weeks and your business still run. Or now you can break your leg and rest in peace because things are in place. And I mean, things can be as simple as, this is how we answer emails. We like to answer emails within 24-hour turnaround. Or this is what I like to do as far as my blog posts. Or this is what I like to do as far as my social media posts. Or this is how we answer the phone calls. Like anything that you think is, oh my gosh, it's so simple, remember, that's in your head. If you're a solopreneur or maybe only working with 1 or 2 people, a lot of the things that we do is because we think about it. But understand that you're in business and your business is doing so well because you are an individual and everybody can't do what you do. So make a procedure and you will thank yourself for it, I promise. So if you have any tips on how to deal with a difficult client or any examples of what you did to fix working with the difficult client to make sure that that client was either felt good after working with you or you were able to keep them on and make them a repeat client, please leave them in the comments below. I can't wait to read all of your comments and really get into this dialogue. All right, until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.